I got them all jarred up and everything. Wiped them down with vinegar. Got my ring lids on. I got my lids on. So I'm getting ready to put them in the pressure cooker. So this is the surprise. This is the surprise that I was telling you all about. I have a new All-American pressure cooker. So I just tested it today. And so this will be my first time cooking in it. So I'm very, very well. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Little Valley Community Garden. My name is Aquila, and as you know, my husband Willie is behind the camera. And today we are going to be canning carrots. So I got up this morning and I wanted something to can. I said, what do I want to can? So I say some carrots, and I do like carrots. So we got up and we did a couple of errands this morning, me and my husband. So we happened to stop by Sprouts, and I got some carrots. And these are organic carrots I got from Sprouts. I got almost 10 pounds of carrots, and it was $1.49 a pound. I think that's a pretty good deal for organic carrots for $1.49 a pound. So I got almost 10 pounds of carrots. So we're going to see how many pint-sized jars I will be doing today. So I've washed all my carrots up. I've washed them. Got a big container over here. I washed them all up, but I just wanted to show you how I do my carrots. And this is a cold pack. This is a cold pack, but even though it's a cold pack, you still need to have your lids warm, and you need to have your rings warm. So I got that on the stove, and you need to have a big pot of hot water. So, and I have my jars in the oven at 225. They're heating up. I have my jars in the oven. And as you know, make sure when you open a new pack of jars, or even if you have your existing jars, I always rewash mine, and I always recheck the lids and check the around the jars to make sure I have no cracks or nicks or anything like that. But I want to show you how I'm going to do my carrots. Now, some people like to peel their carrots. I don't like to peel my carrots because I like the skin on my vegetables. If I can have the skins on my vegetables, me personally, I like to have the skins on my vegetables. I feel like there's a lot of nutrition in the skin. So I just want to give you an example because I got a lot of them to do. But I just cut the head off. Cut the tail off, cut the head. Yeah, one trying to get away. Like, so, this is how I like to do. Definitely want to get rid of that nasty head. You want to get rid of that. And get rid of that tail. And I washed them very well. Make sure if you leave the skin on, make sure you wash it very well. If you're going to leave the skin on, make sure you wash it very well. So I decided to leave my skins on, and make sure if you have any, I call them carrot hairs, make sure you pick those out. And I have another container here, which I'm just going to show you how I'm going to do it. I'm just going to get my carrots. Now, some people do have like a slicer. You could purchase to slice your carrots this way, but I'm just doing the old-fashioned way with my knife, with my cutting board, and I'm going to do it that way because I feel like it's therapeutic for me, and I enjoy hear that teet, 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 teet. So it doesn't bother me. So, but you can slice your carrots to about what size you would like to slice your carrots to. I don't want mine too thin because remember, these are going to be in the pressure cooker, and these are going to be cooking for 25 minutes because I am doing pints. So you don't want to have it too thin, but you want to have it kind of like this. You want your carrots back like this size right here. So this how I'm doing mine. Like I say, it doesn't bother me to chop it because I like hearing it chop, and I find it very therapeutic, very relaxing. So when I get back, I'm going to get back with y'all in a few minutes. So I'm going to finish chopping all these carrots up, and when I get back, we will be jarring them up. So don't go, and I'll be back in a few minutes, okay? All right, stay with me, okay. Well, welcome back, y'all. I have all my carrots cut up. I have them over here, and after you cut your carrots up, make sure you give them another good rinse. Make sure you give them another good rinse. After they all cut up, make sure you rinse them again. So this is how I like to do mine, like this. Give it another good rinse. Give it a good rinse. In my colander, go like this, and then I got my bowl rinsed out again, so I'm going to dump them back in here. And put that little bit in there. Want to give them another good rinse, another good bath, a little small bath. I took my jars, some of them, out of the oven. I turned my oven off because it'll stay warm to keep the remaining jars in there warm till I get ready to use them. I've got about 9 pounds of carrots. So I hope I can get at least 14 jars. If I can get 14 jars out of here, I'd be happy. So I'm making the pint size jars, and I like the pint size wide mouth. That's the ones I use, wide mouth, because I like it because the lids are wide and the jars are wide and easier to stuff vegetables or meat or anything you might be interested in putting in your wide mouth jars. That's why I like the wide mouth. It does take up more space in your pressure cooker, but I like it because the mouths are wider. Okay. Excuse me, I know I'm making a mess. So now I just going to show you, I'm just going to do a couple of jars and show you how I'm going to jar them up. And let me get, and what I'm going to do is still nice and warm. Jars are still nice. Now I'm going to start filling my jars. Oops. Well, I lost a passenger, y'all. I lost a passenger. But I'm going to start filling your jars. And make sure you leave 1 inch of head space when you put your liquid in. 1 inch of head space is very important. You want to leave that because when it's up under pressure, it's going to be a lot of pressure. So you want these carrots to have room to move around, and you want your jars to have room to breathe. So I'm just going to show you a couple of jars, how I'm going to do it. I'm going to get one more jar, y'all. They're so nice and toasty. Like I said, I got these carrots. They are organic because I went to Sprouts supermarket, which I like Sprouts. So you want to shake it around, make them get a little bit more in. So I'm just going to show you these 3 here so far. So now I'm going to sit my jars back over here. I'm losing my shoes, y'all. Okay, and I have my warm water right here, ready to go. Got my warm water. As you can see, I got my lids and the rings, but I got my warm water. I'm going to put this in. I want to leave that 1 inch headspace. I didn't put any salt in mine. You can, if you want to, put a half a teaspoon of salt or a quarter of a teaspoon of salt. But I just decided not to use salt. I know when I did my green beans, I didn't use any salt, and I tell you, when I open them, they taste so good and fresh. Those green beans are so good. And last week, I did use some of my tomato sauce I made. Made some of that spaghetti sauce. We ate some last week. It was good. So, I'm gonna get this filled up. You want, like I say. Now, next step is your debubbler. You want to definitely use your debubbler because you want to get any extra pocket of air out of this jar as much as you can. So you want to use your debubbler, and then you can kind of see where you're at, and that looks kind of perfect. If you have to add a little bit more liquid, you can, but you definitely want to debubble this to get any extra pressure to help that pressure canner. And then it makes more room in your jar too, and you can kind of efficiently see where you're going to be at. hmm I can add more liquid. And if you can add a little bit more liquid, after you debubble, you can, but make sure you keep that 1/4 inch head space, which is about right here. You don't want to go above this. You don't want to go above that. Okay. And the next thing you do, you got to have your good old vinegar, y'all. You want to. And I have my pressure cooker on the stove, but it is cold. The water is out of the faucet. I did not heat that up. The only thing I heated up was my jars and my lids and my ring. But your pressure cooker on the stove, do not turn it on until you get ready to start venting. So now I'm going to get my magnetic. I'm satisfied with that. Just going to show you how I do this. You put your lid on and make sure you check your jar, the rims of your jar, which I have already done. You want to make sure they're smooth, no cracks, no nicks. You want to make sure they're good to go. So I'm going to just show you this one, and then I'm going to do the rest. And you put your ring on, and you just turn it finger tight. That's how you want it. See? Just finger tight, and how it looks. Got your liquid, like right here. Good. Everything looks good. Debubble. So I'm going to finish all these jars up, y'all. And when I get finished jarring this all up, we will be putting them in the pressure cooker, and I'll be back with you in a few minutes. Okay? Stay with me. Bye-bye. Well, welcome back, everybody. I got them all jarred up and everything. Wiped them down with vinegar. Got my ring lids on. I got my lids on. So I'm getting ready to put them in the pressure cooker. So this is the surprise. This is the surprise that I was telling you all about. I have a new All-American pressure cooker. So I just tested it today. And so this will be my first time cooking in it. So I'm very, very excited about that. But this is the new All-American. It is number 92925. It's number 925, All-American. My husband ordered for me. So I got it in last week. And so, yeah, now I'm excited to actually cook in it. I did a little preview today of it, just put water in it and to get acquainted with it. So now I'm going to get acquainted with it again. But when this is the All-American, and you can use olive oil, vegetable oil, or you can use the Vaseline. I chose to use the Vaseline, and you make sure you put. I did mine with the paper towel, and I put Vaseline around here already, so I don't have to do it again. But I put Vaseline around here, just showing you where I did it. And then with the lid, and this is a very heavy pressure cooker, and it does not have the what you call it, the rings, the rubber bands in it. So this is metal to metal sealing. So this is metal to metal. I don't have to worry about the rubber band or anything like that. But you do need to, when you get one, you need to put your Vaseline or vegetable oil, olive oil, whichever you choose, around here and around here and in between here. In between here with Vaseline, with the paper towel, and here, 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 and so that you can get a seal. Because if you don't use the oil to seal it, believe me, you will have a hard time opening this up because this thing is gonna really seal really, really well. So in order to, and when I took the lid off earlier, it opened up very easy, very easy. So you don't want to forget to put the Vaseline around here, olive oil, whichever you decide, up under here, through these right here. And you always check and make sure that your vent hole is clear. And I checked already. My vent hole is clear. So you want to check that. So, but so far so good. And it is a heavier pressure cooker than the one I was using. Point. And you have two racks. You have two racks. I have one rack in here already. And you want to make sure your elevation level, my elevation is 1,000 feet here in Central Florida, so my pressure cooking time will be 10 pounds per pressure. I am doing the pint-sized carrots, which only take 25 minutes. If I was doing the quarts, it would take 35 minutes, but I'm only doing the pint-sized carrots, which takes 25 minutes. So I'm beginning to put my jars in my All-American pressure cooker. I got 2 inches of water, so we're going to start putting the jars in. Like I said, these are pint-sized jars. This will be my first time using my pressure cooker, my All-American. So, one more in the middle. So, how many do I have on the bottom? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Got 8 jars in here. Make sure they're good and sturdy in here. Everything looks good to me. Well, I have the first layer on. Now I'm going to put the second layer on. I'm going to use this divider. Put in here. So we got a few more jars. Before I forget, let me put my vinegar in here, y'all. Put my vinegar. When you have your extra vinegar, make sure you put it in here. It keeps the jars from turning white, that white film. And I don't know about you, but I don't want any white film on my jars. So we got them all in here. Looks good. Everything looks good. Okay, now we're going to get ready to put the lid on. We are going to get ready and put the lid on. And I'm looking for this notch right here. You have an arrow here and you have a notch right here. So that should line up perfectly once I get the lid on. And there we go, like that. And just want to check and make sure everything looks level and everything looks good. Everything looks good. Now you want to take your handles here, your little knobs, and you want to do alternate. You want to alternate each side, alternate. And you don't try to screw them down at the same time a little bit, but you're just lightly screwing this in. You're not tightening down on anything yet. You're just lightly screwing it down. We're not tightening anything down at the moment. So we're just doing a light thing. Get my last two here. Like I said, do opposite across from one another. That's how you want to do it. Opposite across from one another. Like I say, we're not bearing down, tightening anything. Then you might want to give it one more check. See how that looks like that? Everything kind of looks level. The arrow is pointing here with the dot. Everything looks level. Everything looks good. Okay, everything looks good. So now you want to tighten down. Now you want to tighten down. And still do the opposite ends, the opposite from each other. Now you just want to get them tight down to where you can't really screw it anymore. So you just can't move it no more. You don't want to bear down on it not to move it, but just till you just can't move it anymore, then that's tight enough. It's good. And you want to make sure your pressure cooker is lined up on your stove, and it does. Because you want to make sure everything lined up, because you don't want to start processing and then trying to move your pressure cooker. You don't want to do that because you're going to mess up your stove. And so now I'm going to turn my heat on high. I'm going to turn it on high. I'm going to turn the back one off. And the reason why I left is because I can't remember. But anyway, I got my heat on high. I do have my heat on high. And we're going to start what they call the venting process. So put your heat on high, and we'll get ready to start the venting process. And so as soon as it starts venting, and you must let it vent for 10 minutes. It has to vent for 10 minutes because you want to get much of that pressure out of that pressure cooker, escaping through this vent as much as possible. So when it starts venting, I will get back with you and show you the venting process. But until then, I'm going to be back with y'all in a few minutes. But we are in the venting process. We're just letting it get heat up and start venting. And when it starts venting, I'm going to show you what it looks like, and I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay. Well, welcome back, y'all. We are done cooking our carrots. So we are going to take off the lid, and we're going to see what it looks like. So first of all, I'm going to unfasten the wing nuts. That's what these are called. And I'm going to do it just like I did it. There we go. Unfasten the wing nuts. Just let it drop. So you still want to be very careful because this, even though it's down to 0, but still want to be careful. There we go. And 2 more. So remember, when you lift the lid up, lift it away from you because of the steam. There's still a lot of steam going to come out of this pressure cooker. Even though it's down to 0 and it's ready for me to take out the jars, there's still going to be a lot of steam. So always lift this lid up and away from you. So we're going to do that now. And I got my, here we go. Gonna lift it up away from me. See all that steam coming out? And I'm going to sit my lid over here because this is a very heavy lid. And now I'm going to get my jar lifter. This is a jar lifter. So I'm going to get that, and I'm going to put it over here. Make sure when you take your jars out of the pressure cooker, make sure you put them on a towel, or you put something like this kitchen pad I got here. Never put it on the naked counter, because if you do, your jar is going to break. It's going to crack. You cannot take stuff out of the pressure cooker that is steaming hot and put it on something cold, because it will crack the jar. So let's go. Let's go. First one. And you can see how hot these jars are. It's still cooking, still boiling. So you want to be very careful when you take your jars out because they are hot. Ain't that a beautiful color? The carrots, they smell good, y'all. Smells good. Smells really good. So I'm trying to be very careful. So you want to be very careful when you take your jars out because they are hot. They are hot. No joke. So I did 16 jars and they fit perfectly at 10 pounds per pressure. I'm at 1,000 elevation here in Central Florida. Like I said, I got these carrots. So I think I spent about maybe about 10 or $12 for these carrots. And I got 16 jars and it was $1.49 a pound. So now we're getting ready to take the second layer out. Take that second layer out. And you hear the jars, they are pinging. And when you take your jars out, the lid, the, uh, the lid that goes around the jar, it may move a little bit, but that's okay. It'll still seal because that lid is just to keep, the ring around the lid is just to keep this lid down so it can get a good seal. So if that's a little loose, that's nothing major. That's nothing major. That doesn't mean it didn't seal. You see I put that vinegar in there. My jars are nice and clear. I'm going to set a couple on the table over here. I don't want to go over the counter. Set a couple right here. This is fine. I'm sitting it on the towel. That's fine, as long as it's not on the naked table. Because we want something between. You don't want to sit on the naked table. So they look good and they smell good. I got 2 more right here, y'all. And my water is clear. If Willie can put the camera and show you, my water is clear, so I had no spillage. Nothing leaked out of the jars. The water is clear. Okay, y'all. Well, we got another one done. I had this out. I just wanted to let you know for your first time canners, I did order this canning kit. I ordered it from Walmart.com, but they do sell a canning kit at Walmart, and this will have the some of the pieces that you need to get started with your canning. You have your canning funnel, which is this. You have your lid lifter, which is this. And you have your jar lifter, which is this. And you have your jar wrench, which is this. And you have your debubbler, which is this. This did not come with the set. I bought this separately. Well, you will need a ladle, so get you a good ladle. But like I said, you can go online and order you canning starter kit. This is very, very good. I've used this. It really comes in handy. I think I paid about $15 or $16 for this online. But you can check Walmart or check Home Goods or anywhere like that. Michael's or anywhere that does that. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. And once again, my All-American pressure cooker here, it works very well. I'm very pleased with it. And I would just like to say thank you for watching, and don't forget, we need you to hit that like and subscribe, and we will see you on the next one, and have a blessed day. Love you. God bless. Bye-bye.